Hello and welcome back. Today's short tutorial is just all about finding a comfortable seated position. This is going to come in handy for when you take up seated breathing exercises or when you learn how to meditate, that a lot of times we'll do this from a seated position. And that can mean a lot of different things for everybody. The first thing I recommend is having some props close by as you're learning what's comfortable for you. A pair of sturdy yoga blocks can be really helpful, as well as a blanket of choice. Additionally, do not feel guilty if you can't sit on the floor, even with these props, that you're always welcome to use a chair to sit down when we do breathing exercises, that there's absolutely no problem with that. And it makes it neither lesser to make sure that you're just getting yourself in a comfortable seated position. So the first reason that we would use blocks is if your lower back is bothering you when you try to sit on the floor. Let me try to show you from the side. If I'm trying to sit on the floor and my knees come up, this angle between my thigh bones and my body is less than 90 degrees. Therefore, it's going to make me feel like I'm going to roll back and or like I can't sit up straight. And that's going to put a lot of torque on the lower back. So in that case, we would elevate the hips. Let me show you. When you elevate the hips, now my hips are higher than my knees, and the angle of my thigh bones to my body is now greater than 90 degrees. And from there, I feel as though my spine can get more upright, my shoulders can relax down, and then I can stack my head perfectly above the rest of my spine, which is exactly what we want. Some people can do this on the floor, like on their bottom, but in all honesty, when you sit in any position for an extended period, that gives you a very, very clear explanation as to how well that position is working for your body. What does that mean? That means that your body is going to tell you, things are going to start to ache and hurt and even though that's inevitable when you try to put yourself in a seated position for an extended period of time, that your body's going to give you this feedback, we still want to set ourselves up for as long a period of success as we can create so that the distractions in the body don't pull us away from the objective of the breathing that we're trying to do or of the meditation that we're trying to do. That, again, the human part, the body part, it's going to distract us, but that's okay. We just want to work with it and we want to set ourselves up for as best an experience as we can create. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is if your knees are uncomfortable in this type of position. For a lot of people, the knees won't even bend this much. And in that case, perhaps a kneeling position might work better. So our blanket's going to come in handy. We'll make sure that we fold it carefully. I like to fold it in half and then in thirds and then roll it up. You can also create this same scenario using a bolster, which I don't have. So maybe if you are lucky enough to have a bolster at home, you can also use that. So coming up on knees and making sure that the feet are pointed straight back, I can take this roll or I can take my bolster and place it right in between my shins. And then as I go to sit down in between, I'm supported, I'm a little bit elevated, and I'm stretching the tops of my thighs and the tops of my feet to accomplish this position. And if that rotational movement in the knee is uncomfortable, then this bypasses that and just helps us to get a comfortable position. So these are just some ideas, brief explanations for what we do, and why we use the props. And again, I'll reiterate, if you need to sit in a chair, that's fine too. Some people even find more comfort in lying down when they do breathing or lying down when they try to do a meditation, which would be more of like a yoga nidra. So there's really not one perfect way to do any of this. You have to find your way. And I just wanted to give you some ideas of how you might do that. And please never hesitate to reach out if you have questions, and I'll be happy to work with you one on one. Thank you so much. I hope you have a great start to your practice.